Hello, everyone. Welcome to Carpool Reviews. I'm your host, Carpool Tonal, and I review movies, television. It's my second episode. And if you want more of this, continue to like and subscribe and all the commenting things to let me know if you like my interpretations of stuff. I was a film graduate, award winner, um, fan of comics, Marvel comics, and a lot of superhero films, all the films you see over here. And today I am reviewing Superman. It finally came out. I finally got to see it. This will be my non-spoiler review of the movie and my initial thoughts. I just finished watching it. Initial thoughts are like, bravo, James Gunn. Bravo. I um I haven't connected with any Superman character before. I've always been a bit of a not relating with the character of Superman because of his invulnerability or his journey, which I probably should have been more connected to if I read comics, but I just was not a big DC comic fan. Like I liked my Marvel. You can see by my comics behind me and stuff is I like very vulnerable heroes and seeing them grow to be more human, which is what I think the theme of this movie is humanity, which isn't a spoiler. Yeah, initial thoughts. James Gunn did a really good job at really capturing um, what the DC universe can become if they continue on along this path. And Superman was a brilliant way to open up this whole gods versus monsters um, saga of the DC universe. Um, and I came into this a bit biased because of my Marvel background. Well, I can't say I completely didn't like DC because Batman is, I mean, I've seen every Batman film, seen Gotham like probably more than 5 times every episode. It's one of my rewatch ones that I'll rewatch to, um, I guess, comfort food. And then all the Batman films, even this newest one, with Patterson. I mean, that one I saw it like 3 times in theaters. And I guess one of my initial thoughts of this too is that I wish I could have saw this in actual where how it was supposed to be seen in the most epic IMAX, maybe even 4D. Probably would have been such an experience. Um, I just watched this off of what Amazon Prime because it just came out on my computer screen. So I did that so I could take screenshots for everybody's and have a little bit more visual than just me talking to a screen for this movie review. I've already liked what James Gunn did with the DC universe with his Suicide Squad and with Peacemaker. Um, and even Creature Commandos was like that was such a powerful show. I really loved that show. And just I am now excited to see what comes next. All in all, I would say my rating for this film is a 9.5 out of 10. Only reason why I didn't give it a 10 is because I don't know what a perfect film is, but I know this was a perfect film um, to me from everything from the heart, the characters, the story, the plot line, the action, the cinematography, the editing, the acting, the directing, the choreography of the fight scenes. I know I might have just repeated a few things there, but there's just so much good things to say about this film. Um, Turning someone who's never been a Superman fan into a Superman fan, that is something that just happened. That's what James Gunn pulled off. And I think that is actually really needed for the competition between Marvel and DC, where Everyone's been like, Marvel's been the good films where people connect with and everything, and everyone's now a Marvel fan. Not everyone, but most people are in some way. And by him creating this, can make that creating a DC fan out of people. Um, I know there was a lot of divide on, I don't know why, with the ratings, or it might have been just the people with who grew up as knowing, Christopher Reeve's Superman is the best, or like people thinking that the Snyder versus Superman was like the best Superman because he was dark and um, edgy. But for me, coming up after the Christopher Reeve Superman, where I had films growing up with like X-Men and Spider-Man, where it's like very vulnerable heroes going through all of this social commentary type of like stories. Like, with the X-Men is basically xenophobia, and Spider-Man is power, responsibility, and no matter what the cost it is to your own self. I feel like this was the perfect introduction to a DC universe that actually has those type of stakes rather than this type of stakes of like something from out of this world is coming to destroy the world, and um the only one who can do it is Superman, the bird, the plane, the not man, the not human, which I will get into the themes of this in the spoiler review, but I didn't want to give too much in the non-spoiler review. I just wanted to excite people to go watch this because it is definitely worth the watch. It is definitely worth the hype. What everyone had kind of expected for James Gunn to be able to take someone like a Superman, which is someone that, I mean, looking at all of his last films and stuff, he's never really got to work with someone that's like the biggest hero and right for them for. Um, like Guardians of the Galaxy were like, the little known heroes that were just misfits, outcasts who are kind of scattered across the galaxy. No one had really heard of them. Some people probably heard of Rocket Raccoon, or they probably heard of Star Lord through video games. Um, and of course, Thanos at the end. Oh, spoiler. Um, and then even when he came down to the Suicide Squad, I feel like Harley Quinn was the only one that people really knew. Like Peacemaker was such an abstract. Like that was the first time I even heard of Peacemaker was in Suicide Squad, and same with a lot of these other people. What is it? Bloodsport? I get him mixed up with Will Smith's character a lot. See, that Will Smith's one is the one that I've heard of. Deadshot. I've heard of Deadshot a lot. I think that's just because I played a lot of the video games, but I never heard of Bloodsport. Um, and he was one of his main characters. Like what James Gunn can do by taking these abstract characters who have so much story to tell through their internal battles is so impressive. Like, yeah, what what he does with that is, as a storyteller, as a director, as a visionary, he was the right person to take on something like DC. Um, because he does it with this film. He takes, you know, Mr. Terrific and Metamorpho, two characters I had never heard of until this film. And they're such intriguing characters with their own type of internal battles and external battles. Um, that is, it's captivating in this film. Like everyone has heard of, Green Lantern and Hawk Girl. So I kind of had expectations that they were going to be more a key figure in the story because of people heard of them. But I mean, at the end of the day, they barely affect the plots. I mean, a little bit, but not compared to Metamorpho or Mr. Terrific. Like they were integral to the plot. The two unknowns that the misunderstood, outcasted. That is what Gunn does so perfectly. So, props to James Gunn. Props to everyone who worked on this film, the visual effects team, the cinematographers, the actors. Wow, wow. The production designers. Like, wow, this was such a freaking stylistic, artistic film, and it felt like everyone in the crew and the cast were doing their part to make this the best introduction to this new DCU that we're going to get. Making this the best film possible, to be enjoyable, to bring tears, to bring heart, laughter, and fun. Um, yeah, I mean, I guess one of the last things I would say as my initial reaction is that I cried like 7 times during this film. I know I'm a very sensitive guy, and I'll cry sometimes, more than often. I cry at happy moments and sad moments and heart-wrenching moments and love and all these things, but it really captured like every single aspect of enjoyment that cinema has given me, and why I wanted to become a filmmaker in the first place and tell stories, is to be able to make people feel these very human emotions. Great movie, 9.5 out of 10. So that was my non-spoiler review. I will be putting out my spoiler review here soon. And yeah, thank you for joining. And I will see you next time. As always, stay safe and love yourself. Peace.